Hi families, it's Mr. Panza. Thanks for joining for tonight's homework help video. We are focused on this question for the last couple of weeks in science: how is the water cycle related to weather? And we've come across our first quiz. Tonight what I want you to do is I want you to help your student fill in this answer sheet. And when you fill in this answer sheet, you're going to have all of the answers that you can actually study from. It's just a quick quiz tomorrow, and you really shouldn't spend any more than maybe 15 minutes. That's why I'm going to give you the answers tonight. I'm going to do it in a different fashion, though. I'm going to bring up this flip chart, and we'll go over these different questions. Again, how is weather related to the water cycle? That's where our focus is. Here's the first question. What freezes and melts many times before falling to the ground? Hopefully the students remember, it's hail. Hail will be controlled by the wind. It freezes, then the wind blows it up, then it refreezes, and it just continues to get bigger and bigger until it falls to the ground, just like these hail balls here. Next question. What is frozen water falling to the earth? Also known as ice crystals. That ice crystals part should really give it away. We're talking about snow. Build a little frosty here on the right-hand side. Third question. What is water that falls from the sky? Any type of water that falls from the sky? It's rain. So rain is the water that falls from the sky, and the temperature must be above 32 degrees in order for it to be rain. Continuing on. Water that passes through freezing air and turns into ice is called? Looks like water, but it's actually sleet. So there is a frozen layer of air that actually freezes the rain and turns it into sleet before it reaches the ground. Continuing on, except this time we're going to talk more about the water cycle, and that's what actually controls the weather that we have. When liquid turns into a gas, it starts floating up. It's very similar to when you are boiling water into a pot. That is called evaporation. Evaporation gets the water cycle started. Next part of the water cycle is when water vapor changes from a gas to a liquid. Some of the students were confusing this one with precipitation, but it's actually condensation, which is when the clouds are formed. Dust particles in the air collect a lot of the water vapor, and it changes from a gas into a liquid. It doesn't start to turn into precipitation until that liquid becomes too heavy in the cloud and falls down. We did a demonstration in class with a tissue and placed water in there. So tell the students that it's as though the condensation is when the water is sitting in the cloud, and then when the water is coming down, that's the precipitation. Next question. Any form of water that falls from the sky, that's precipitation. That's when you have the 4 types of precipitation that we're going to talk about. Water cycle, getting its energy from, where do you think? Of course, it's the sun. That big yellow blaze in the sky has given us all the energy we need for the water cycle. It heats up the water on the ground, it helps turn it into the condensed clouds, and then eventually precipitation to the ground. What are the 4 types of precipitation that we see based on the water cycle? Well, here they are. Rain, hail, sleet, and snow. Those are the ones we talked about earlier, and we know the difference between each of them. Brr. We've got a big storm cloud here. A storm surge is the most dangerous part of which type of dangerous weather? We specifically talked about tornadoes, flash floods, thunderstorms, and the last one, which is hurricanes. This is a hurricane. You may have noticed in the last picture this little spot right here in the middle. And that blank right there, the blank is the calmest part of a hurricane. That's that part right in the middle, also known as the eye. Here are some things that you should do in order to be safe in a storm. At least 3 things or 3 safety precautions that you can take in dangerous weather. Listen to the television or radio for a weather siren. Stay inside or evacuate, or follow community safety rules. And finally, the differences between tornadoes and hurricanes. The tornadoes are a spinning spiral, while a hurricane is just a massive storm. Tornadoes do not have an eye. Hurricanes have a big eye of the storm, which is calm. The tornadoes come from clouds, and hurricanes come from the sea. That wraps up the questions. I just wanted to show this slide one more time so you see all of the answers. Remember, you can pause this, you can fast forward, you can rewind. All of the answers from tonight's video that should go on your students' homework and use it to study. Now that you have the answers, go study right now. Now that you have all of the answers, remember you can pause, rewind, do whatever you need to get all of these answers down. Make sure you have all the answers, and then study them for a few minutes tonight. Now that you have them, go study them right now. Have a good night.